Hey everyone, Travis here from Pangburn Philosophy. We had an email come in that I'm going to address in-house. It's from Debbie in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And she says, I am 100% certain that my mother, who passed away in 2005, visits me frequently and leaves me clues that she is still around. Sometimes when I'm cleaning in the basement, I hear our old family piano play a few notes, or sometimes her picture that I keep on my nightstand will be angled towards the bed in a position that I did not leave it in. Small things like that. My husband has witnessed this as well, so I am not hallucinating. Science may not be able to verify the claim that my mother is still in my life, but it brings me comfort to know that she is here with me. Thanks for your submission, Debbie. First of all, I'm so sorry for your loss. Loss is a kind of a sad fact that we have to deal with in this life, losing ones that we love, and I mean, it's never easy. One thing I do like to think about when it comes to loss is the really cool thing about our brains is that we get to record these memories that we had with the people that we love, and we get to think about those all the time, and when that person does leave us, we don't lose that. So we, in a sense, we get to keep them with us until we die and our brains die, and that's I think that's a pretty special thing to know that we can do that. And I mean, I always encourage people to collect as much video and photos as they can of their family, because it really does help to be able to look back and see them, especially in video. I love being able to look back at any friends or family that I've lost, and it helps bring back memories, and it helps you to apply who they are in that video back into your memories, just so that you don't forget the things that made them special. Now, as far as the afterlife is concerned, there is no scientific peer-reviewed evidence to verify that there is any kind of afterlife. But my mind can always be changed. So if there is, please email your best evidence or send us a video at admin@pangburnphilosophy.com, and I would love to have a conversation with you about that. So the claim that Debbie is making, she is 100% certain that her mother, who passed away in 2005, visits her frequently and leaves her clues that she is still around. So let's look at, I'm sure there's more examples of this that Debbie can provide, but she's provided a couple, so let's look at them. So sometimes when she's cleaning the basement, she hears the old family piano play a few notes. And I'm assuming that's when she's in the basement. She can hear it, maybe upstairs. So it's quite an extraordinary claim to say that that would be her deceased mother. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and eyewitness accounts tend to be not very reliable in situations like this. Sure, you might have heard some sounds. You might have heard something that sounded like the piano, but really wasn't that, and that's the way your mind put it together. You could have been replaying a memory of your mother in your mind of when she used to play the piano, maybe, or you know, it could be as simple as something falling off the top of the piano and hitting the keys. But I think there are a lot of reasonable explanations for this claim, and this bit of evidence that you've submitted. I think it's too much of a leap to jump to the afterlife and your mother playing the piano upstairs while you're downstairs. I always urge people to not jump to conclusions. It's okay to say I don't know in these situations. In this case, I mean, even if you were downstairs and an old broken down wooden piano that isn't a player piano started playing Fair Lease while I was downstairs, it's still a really far jump to claim that it was your mother or any deceased person. And then she goes on to say that the picture that she keeps on her nightstand will sometimes be angled towards the bed in a position that she did not leave it in. You know, I can think of many things that could have caused this. Sometimes we move things and misplace things, and sometimes we put the milk in the cupboard and flour in the fridge. So we do things sometimes that we don't realize that we've done. And I mean, secondly, she mentions that she is married and her husband has witnessed these things, and the more people you throw into this, the higher the probability is that you know, someone could have moved the picture. Even if Debbie and her husband are laying in bed and the picture of her grandmother begins to levitate above them and move in a ceremonial type way or in a circle or something, that is only evidence that they are experiencing that happening in some way. It's not even evidence that this is actually happening in reality. So I really think it's best in these situations to say, wow, that was really interesting. I wonder what that was, or I don't know what that was. Let's try and figure it out. Maybe there's a reasonable explanation for this. The point being is that we need a way to demonstrate these claims to be true, and that there wasn't a more reasonable explanation behind what happened. And then Debbie goes on to say, science may not be able to verify the claim that my mother is still in my life, but it brings me comfort to know that she is here with me. And I think she's right. She says, I mean, she acknowledges that science may not be able to verify, and I like her wording there. May not, as opposed to science can't, because then we're making another claim, and I would never claim that science can't verify her claim here. It very well could, it just hasn't yet. I personally would like to live in a world where people believe as many true things and as few false things as possible. And we have a way of verifying what is true, and that is the scientific method. Also, Debbie, I hope that when a child asks you about this particular experience, or if they happen to be around when something like this happens, I hope that if you do explain what your belief is, I hope you also explain that this is a personal belief of yours, and that there is no scientific evidence supporting what you believe, but you're choosing to believe it anyway. Because even here you say science may not be able to verify the claim. So you're acknowledging that science cannot verify the claim, and the way we find out if something is true or not is by testing the claim. And we test the claim by using the scientific method. Anyways, that's my diagnosis of Debbie's claim. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about that. Just leave some comments below, and we'll be back with more videos like this one. Not all of our videos are just going to feature me. I'm going to be bringing in some pretty famous skeptics onto our channel to comment on these specific claims and to help people find more truth in their life. Feel free to submit, admin@pangburnphilosophy.com. All the information is below, and we hope to hear from you. Thank you.